Imagine this. You're 26 years old. 3 days ago, your husband died defending your city against Spartan warriors. Now, standing in the ruins of your home, you hold your 3 children close, trying to make yourself invisible as Spartan officers examine women like livestock. An officer approaches, asking your age and if the children are yours. You answer, your voice barely a whisper. He marks his wax tablet and moves on. That night, soldiers tear your children from your arms. Your 3-year-old son screams for you, trying to run after you as you're marched away with 200 other women. You look back, trying to memorize their faces, unsure if you'll ever see them again. This is where your nightmare begins. Compared to what's coming, death would have been mercy. Welcome to Shadows of the Crown, where we explore the darkest chapters of history. What you're about to learn will change your understanding of ancient warfare, and why the wives of defeated warriors faced fates described as worse than death. Asterisk hit subscribe and like now asterisk because this story needs telling. To understand what happened to these women, we must grasp what Sparta truly was. While Athens developed democracy, Spartan society was brutally honest, a war machine. Boys were taken at 7 for rigorous training in the agoge, forced to endure pain and violence while weak infants were left to die. Individual identity was crushed. Being Spartan trumped humanity. Central to this was the Helot population enslaved individuals, 10 to every Spartan who worked the land while Spartans perfected warfare. Spartans lived in constant fear of rebellion, outnumbered 10 to 1, believing the only way to prevent revenge was to target women, control reproduction, and erase identities. When Sparta conquered a city, it wasn't random violence. It was systematic. Commanders assessed captured women based on age, fertility, and social status, categorizing them for different uses: field slaves, domestic servants, or worse. Asterisk, here's what you need to understand. Asterisk, ancient warfare didn't end with battle. The real conquest was in dealing with survivors. Killing all the men eliminated one generation of warriors, but their sons raised by mothers would seek revenge. Sparta recognized this, aiming to conquer bloodlines through systematic reproductive control. When Spartan forces took a city, military-age men were executed, and women aged 15 to 40 received special attention. Left alone, they would raise a new generation of enemies. Controlled, they could serve Spartan interests. Women of childbearing age posed both a threat and an opportunity. Those categorized for potential enslavement would be absorbed into the Helot system, while noble women, particularly wives and daughters of enemies, faced brutal humiliation as symbols of total conquest. This was strategic messaging, a public demonstration of what happened to those who resisted Sparta. Asterisk, picture this. Asterisk, your husband was a respected warrior, killed by Spartans. Now you find yourself in wedding garments, publicly married to one of your conquerors. This was conquest dressed as marriage. You would pretend to be a willing bride while everyone knew your true situation. Your real husband was likely rotting in a grave. After this ceremony, you'd fulfill your duties as a Spartan wife managing a household, bearing Spartan citizens, and teaching them values to potentially fight against any survivors from your original city. This horrific fate was described in ancient sources as worse than death. You couldn't just endure. You had to actively participate in destroying your own culture. Women adapted in various ways, some survived psychologically, while others refused to fully engage and taught their children small acts of rebellion. A few even chose death over this enforced life. Plutarch described noble women throwing themselves off cliffs rather than endure forced marriage to their captors. Asterisk, it gets darker. Asterisk, not all captured women became wives. Sparta aimed to produce strong warriors, practicing selective breeding by assigning some women to Spartan men as breeding partners. These arrangements treated women as reproductive tools with no legal standing or ability to refuse. Children born of these unions were often left with complex identities. Some considered citizens while carrying the stigma of mixed heritage. Most captured women, however, faced a simpler yet brutal fate as Helot state-owned slaves working the fields, producing goods and serving Spartan citizens. Their status was hereditary. Born a Helot, die a Helot, captured women endured lives of relentless labor, enduring brutal treatment while being forbidden from aspiring for anything beyond their assigned roles. Helot women were particularly vulnerable. They were sexually available to Spartan citizens without consequences. A Spartan could assault a Helot woman with impunity. Children born from these violations added to the enslaved population. These women often watched Spartan children grow up in privilege while their own offspring labored endlessly. The psychological toll was indescribable. Women remembered freedom and lost identities. Now they were property, their children born into a life of servitude. The system was designed to maintain power through systematic terror, exemplified by the crypto where young Spartan men would hunt helots as a rite of passage, murdering them for training. Sparta would publicly humiliate captured women after victories, parading them through towns, stripped of their identities. Even Spartan women, who enjoyed more freedoms than most Greek counterparts, mocked these captives, ensuring humiliation wasn't just from conquerors but also fellow women. Take the example of the Messenian Wars. During the 8th and 7th centuries BCE, Sparta conquered Messenia, enslaving its entire population. Messenian women became helots, with their children born into permanent servitude. These were not just foreign enemies. They were fellow Greeks reduced to total subjugation. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to support our work. Never miss an upload. Like this vid, drop a comment, and share it with others to help us grow this historical community.